So you clicked on this video expecting me to tell you what foods are best for a fast, does black coffee break a fast, is fasting good for fat loss, whatever, right? Well, I actually want to tell you that I'm here to tell you the complete opposite, somewhat. Before I get into the video, I did want to mention I still have a few very select spots for anyone who wants to be coached by me for free for the next 30 days. Just click that link in the description. I'll reach out. What do I mean by the complete opposite? Well, I want to tell you guys that fasting for me hurt me a lot more than it helped me. If you don't know my story, I pretty much trained for about 3 years, and then I did around a 6-month cut, which got me to the point that I am now. And I will not lie, during the first 2 to 3 months, I did a lot of fasting. I would wake up, I would work for most of the day, go to school, study, get on sales calls, that kind of thing. And I would pretty much ignore my hunger, just drinking energy drinks, drinking my white monster. It was cool until around 1, 2 p.m. when I couldn't really take it anymore and I would just eat. And for the first 2 to 3 months, yes, I did lose about 10, 15 pounds, basically more than 50% of the weight that I lost during that whole time, which seems like a lot, and it really was. However, of course, it was mostly water weight because that is how fat loss works. Whenever you cut your calories, you're also cutting very likely a lot of carbs, which carbs make you retain water. So in the beginning, a lot of that weight that you lose is not necessarily fat, it's just water. And don't get me wrong, it helped me in the beginning. However, getting to around the 15, 14, 13% body fat ranges, when I wanted to really lean down, I started abusing the fast. Let alone all of that, but of course, fasting is something that the hardcore do, right? That David Goggins does, that your favorite influencer does. So you're very inclined to want to do it. However, the thing is, I was forcing my body to do something that I wasn't really used to. I never fasted throughout my life. I was always used to waking up in the morning, having breakfast with my family, you know, always having something to eat, never really running a lot of hunger. And I'm not saying that being hungry is a bad thing, right? Of course, you have to be used to sometimes running hungry. That's okay. That does give you a little bit more sharpness, focus, that kind of thing. And I won't lie, I did notice these benefits whenever I was fasting. However, when I got to the point where I was really trying to lean down, I was not only fasting, but I was cutting my calories in half. Sometimes I would be in a 500 to 600 calorie deficit. Not only this, but I was working out first thing in the morning. So if you pair a big calorie deficit along with fasting and working out in the morning, it was a recipe for disaster. And to make the long story short, for about 1 or maybe 2 months, I won't lie to you, I kid you not, I was in a loop of doom. For a whole week, Monday, Tuesday, Monday through Friday, I was basically living for the weekend, but for my body. I was abstaining myself from all foods, starving myself Monday through Friday, Saturday, using the fast as a way of like, oh, I don't care if I'm hungry, I'm just gonna continue fasting because I'm hardcore, it gives me focus, whatever. I train fasted, just to end up either binge eating that same day at 1 or 2, 3 p.m. because of how hungry I was. I was literally starving, which is one of the main factors which contribute to binge eating, or binge eating on Sunday. And for those of you that do not know, a pound of fat equals 3,500 calories. So if you're in a 500 calorie deficit for 7 days, you would be expected to lose around a pound of fat. However, the thing is, whenever you're starving yourself from Monday through Saturday, let's say you're in a 200 calorie deficit, times 6 days, that'd be 1,200 calories. So around a third of a pound of fat. However, if you're starving yourself doing that, you can easily eat those 1,200 calories back on that one Sunday with one cheat meal. Because you've been starving yourself all during that whole week, you can easily binge eat and completely mess everything up. And that's what I would do. I ended up in that dark loop of, I'll just restart again on Monday. It's totally cool. I would just tell myself, oh, I messed up once, so I would feel so bad about myself, put myself so down that I would just start binge eating, throwing away all my progress just to do it again on Monday. And even though I knew it was pretty much bullshit, I would tell myself, I'll just restart the day after. Your body does not have a reset button. You ate those calories. It doesn't matter. Your body doesn't know if it's Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. It just knows that it ate those calories back. So you're not going to lose that weight. Moral of the story, do not do whatever you're favorite influencer says on the internet. Just because it's hardcore, it's gonna give you all these benefits. I'm not saying that people can't do it. Yes, there's select people who I'm sure they get huge benefits from fasting. However, if your body does not work like that, you're not used to it, there's no point in doing that, because at the end of the day, calorie deficit is what's going to determine if you lose weight or not. So you're better off doing what works best for you, for your body. And that's what I do, especially because I continue to work out first thing in the morning. I need carbs, I need food first thing in the morning if I want to push hard in the gym, actually stimulate muscle growth. And even if even if my objective wasn't to do that, even if I didn't work out first thing in the morning, I would still continue to eat first thing in the morning, because this allows me to stay fuller for longer. I'm not running a lot of hunger throughout the day, so I don't end up binge eating when lunch rolls around. Moral of the story, find what works best for you. You don't have to be hardcore. At the end of the day, calorie deficit is what's going to determine that, so don't just follow whatever your favorite influencer does online. Everything is attainable with time, with experience, but it doesn't have to be your experience. Click that link in the description. I'll reach out. Maybe we can set something up for you to reach your goals a lot quicker. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.